A vaccine's long journey from the factory to patients' arms. Hi there, get ready for another plain English lesson. I'm Jeff, JR is the producer, and this is lesson 322, and you can see the full lesson at plainenglish.com/322. Coming up today, the UK was the first country to approve the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine against the novel coronavirus. Canada was second. The US came days later, and approval is expected soon in Europe, Australia, and other countries. And so starts the biggest vaccination effort in world history. Today, we'll talk about the complicated path a vaccine will take from the factory door and into, hopefully, your arm. As 2020 comes to a close, all eyes are on two small towns, Perth, Belgium, and Kalamazoo, Michigan, in the United States. Perth is best known for producing the strong Belgian Duvel beer. Kalamazoo is home to Gibson guitars. But now, those two towns share the spotlight at the center of a scientific breakthrough. They are where Pfizer is manufacturing the first doses of its coronavirus vaccine. The two facilities are expected to produce 50 million doses by the end of 2020, and the 171-year-old Pfizer says they'll produce over 1 billion doses in 2021. When the vaccine leaves the factory door, it goes on a long and complicated journey before it can be injected into a patient's arm. It's all based on just-in-time manufacturing, which aims to ship the vaccine where it's needed, when it's needed, and without spending any unnecessary time in a warehouse. That's critical because this vaccine must be kept between -70 and -84 degrees Celsius until just days before it's administered to a patient. This critical requirement means that distribution of the vaccine must go through a cold chain, a supply chain equipped to keep the vaccine cold enough for long enough. The vaccine loses its effectiveness quickly if it's outside a narrow range of temperatures. The vaccines leave Pfizer's factories packed in a reusable super cold refrigeration unit. All units are equipped with temperature and location sensors, allowing the company to monitor their progress. If a shipment has been out too long, or if it leaves the temperature range, then Pfizer can proactively take that shipment out of the supply chain. Pfizer intends to ship the majority of its vaccine doses by air to regional distribution hubs and then by truck to individual hospitals and clinics. When the vaccine leaves the Michigan factory, it goes in unmarked trucks to airports where one of 3 carriers will bring it to the world: UPS, FedEx, and DHL. The first doses from Belgium are being trucked straight to the UK through the Channel Tunnel, which connects England and France. Shipments will go to other countries as they begin to approve the vaccine. Some regional hospitals have the ultra-cold refrigerators needed to maintain the temperature range of the vaccine. At those locations, the vaccine can be transferred from the Pfizer container to the freezer. But the majority of smaller hospitals, clinics, and pharmacies don't have those capabilities. So Pfizer designed its own container to maintain its vaccines at the appropriate temperature. Vials containing the vaccine concentrate are packed into flat boxes that resemble pizza boxes with 195 vials each. 5 of those are packed together in one single container, topped with 50 pounds of dry ice. The whole thing weighs 80 pounds. The vaccine can survive in those containers for 30 days, as long as the dry ice is refilled every 5 days. Local clinics remove the vials when they're almost ready to administer them. They then return the box to Pfizer to be reused. Once the vaccines are removed from the box, they can survive for 5 days at a normal refrigerated temperature. That gives clinics a little flexibility in how many doses they administer per day. A little. They will need to carefully plan the number of people who come in for their vaccines each day to avoid any doses being spoiled. As if that's not complicated enough, there's additional preparation needed in the hours before a vaccine can be administered to a patient. Each dose comes in concentrated form. It has to be diluted with a saline solution. Each individual glass vial of the vaccine concentrate produces 5 doses of the vaccine. Once thawed and diluted, a vaccine must be administered within 6 hours. Pfizer is also sending kits of supplies ahead of the vaccine itself. Kits including syringes, alcohol wipes, and instructions are being shipped separately. Dry ice will also be shipped to locations that don't have super cold freezers. Airlines and shipping firms are gearing up to meet the distribution challenge. Some passenger planes will be repurposed to carry the vaccine cargo. Around the world, doctors, nurses, and healthcare workers are preparing for the challenge at their end of the supply chain. They're practicing handling the vaccine, maintaining its temperature, and using their own personal protective equipment. In the first wave, 2 vaccines from Moderna and Pfizer will have 2 sets of handling instructions, 2 sets of instructions for healthcare workers to follow. Hospitals and clinics are setting up staging areas where they'll manage the flow of patients and information. This last part is critically important because both the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines need to be administered in 2 doses. Every patient needs to come back for a second dose exactly 21 days after the first one. That means distributors need to take careful records of which patients receive which vaccine and when, so they can get the correct booster shot at the correct time. I am in awe of this whole vaccine process. I really am. The development of a vaccine is a total mystery to me, so I can appreciate it only in a general sense. I know it's a big deal, but I'm not in the sciences, so I don't know the amount of work. I can't picture or even really imagine how a company or university develops a vaccine. But the logistics, I can imagine. It is a monumental challenge to get this done. The packaging, the trucks, the airplanes, the dry ice, the needles. Think about how many needles are necessary for this. There weren't just a billion needles sitting around waiting to be used. That had to be procured, packaged. Same with dry ice. More refrigerators needed to be made. I'm not in logistics. I'm not in manufacturing, but I am in business. And so I have such an appreciation for the complexity of all this and the hard work that people around the world have put into this challenge. It is a towering achievement, I think, for the world in an extremely stressful time. Today's expression is an easy one. The main lesson was hard. There were a lot of new words and concepts in there, so I figured I'd give you an easy expression. Known for. Did you hear that before? Purs, Belgium is known for producing Duvel beer. I've had Duvel beer before. It's Belgian style. That's appropriate, right, for a brewery in Belgium itself. Purs is a town of 17,000 people. I'm sure it's lovely, but there's not a long list of reasons to know about Purs. But here's the thing that people will know about Purs. It makes Duvel beer. It's known for producing Duvel beer. Kalamazoo, Michigan is known for being the home of Gibson guitars. Baseball fans might also recognize Kalamazoo. It's also known for being the home of Derek Jeter, a famous baseball player. Now, both Kalamazoo and Purs are known for their Pfizer manufacturing plants. That's the reason most people will know about these towns in the future. So we say they are now known for their Pfizer plants. You might have noticed we can use known for with an ing verb. Kalamazoo is known for being the home to Gibson guitars. Purs is known for producing Duvel beer. You can also use it with just a simple noun. Kazoo and Purs are now known for their vaccine factories. Let's try a few more. See if you can tell if I'm using an ing verb or just a noun. Napa Valley is known for its world-famous wine. Roland Garros is known for hosting the French Open. Las Vegas is known for its casinos. Kentucky is known for producing bourbon. The Alps are known for their ski resorts. Florida is known for its beautiful beaches. South Beach is known for hosting crazy parties. You can use known for with people as well as places. Al Michaels is a sports broadcaster in the U.S. He hosts Sunday Night Football on NBC, and I often watch that weekly game just for the broadcast. It's that good. But Al Michaels is known for a famous call at the 1980 Winter Olympics when the American ice hockey team defeated the heavily favored Soviet Union. "Do you believe in miracles?" Al Michaels asked as the United States won that game in an upset. He's best known for that famous line in that famous game. If you use known for, you have a little bit of flexibility. You don't have to say the most famous thing about a person or a place. You might have heard before that Al Michaels is best known for that famous call in 1980, but a lot of people don't even know about that call. To them, Al Michaels is known for being a good football broadcaster. It depends on your audience. You can say he's known for either. You can also qualify it and say he's best known for his call in 1980. Arnold Schwarzenegger is a good example of a person known for multiple things. He was first known for being a bodybuilder. Then he was known for his roles in movies like the Terminator movies. I have never seen a Terminator movie from start to finish. Most recently, Arnold is known for being the former governor of the state of California. There are 3 reasons to know about that Austrian-born celebrity. Today's quote of the week is more of a proverb, a common saying in English. The darkest hour is just before the dawn. The first person to express that thought was the English writer Thomas Fuller in the year 1650. The words he used were slightly different given the evolution of language, but we'll credit him with this quote. The darkest hour is just before the dawn. Darkness, in this case, is a symbol of tragedy or difficult times, whereas dawn is a symbol of hope. Therefore, the quote means that in a long crisis, sometimes it can seem like it's at its worst just before it starts to get better. Think about that as we all hopefully prepare to get vaccinated against this terrible coronavirus vaccine. Sorry, against this terrible coronavirus disease, I should say. Well, that's it for today. Congratulations on reaching the end of another Plain English audio lesson. Remember, the lesson continues online at plainenglish.com/322. The video lesson today is about the term as long as. I don't know how we got through almost 150 video lessons without doing as long as, but that's the topic of today's video lesson. This, I'm just telling you, is an essential tool in your English toolbox you have to know how to use as long as. So that's today's video lesson. I'm going to walk you through the steps, plenty of examples, and challenge you to use as long as. That's available at plainenglish.com/322, and it's part of the Plus membership. Next up, the monoliths. If you know what I mean, then get ready for Thursday's lesson. If you don't know what the monoliths are, well, you're just going to have to wait, because there's no way for me to summarize it. It's that weird. So join us on Thursday for a discussion of just the latest curveball that 2020 has thrown us. See you then.